What is going on, everybody? It's the Firestorm. We're back again with a Elestrals Divine Champions Firestorm reveal reaction. Flamermoth apparently is becoming a new champion of either Hestia or Hephaestus, or even Hermes, probably even Hermes. Destroys everything, introducing 5 new cards. Hopefully that means we're going to get some new reveals, like new Elestrals.
A tragic fire has broken out in Foloi Forest, and it's time for us to figure out exactly which Elestral was up to no good. Let's dive in.
It's a very dark way to start this, by the way. A tragic fire has happened off in Foloi Forest. We need to figure out which Elestral did it. I mean, of course, Flamermoth, but like, very dark.
Firestorm reveal season has been so hype, and I'm so excited to showcase a handful of brand new Elestral cards today that are really fun. I think these are going to create a really fun deck that a lot of you guys will enjoy. And I love the artworks and the thematics that we're going to be showcasing today. Just really cool stuff in general. But if you haven't pre-ordered Firestorm yet, make sure you do so right now. Head to shopelestrals.com. Get those pre-orders in. Our incredible 2-player starter decks with 4 packs for just $25, as well as our booster boxes now coming with code cards to get free caster coins on our Play Network, which means that you...
That is the most appealing thing of this entire set, is possibly getting 5 to 100. I mean, getting the 100 would be awesome, but I think it's going to be like you put it in and you don't know what you're going to get. But like, that's the most appealing thing so far of this, is the fact that you can get caster coins. And as somebody who got a booster box from doing just casual tournaments, the fact that they cut it down to 1 casual tournament a week, getting a booster box and possibly getting 100 to get closer to that 400 threshold to get another booster box would be great.
You can redeem stamp promos and even more.
It literally should be 10 to 100 instead of 5, because there's nothing that you do that gets you that does 10 caster coins. It should be 10, not 5.
Booster boxes are free. Absolutely awesome stuff. But let's talk about some brand new Elestral cards today, baby, because we've got some really awesome.
And it's also not free 100% because you do have to pay for shipping.
Ones. The first ever Elestral that we ever created, aside from the spirits, was none other than Nimbug. And Nimbug has a brand new card here in Firestorm. Let's take a look. Little Nimbug here is just playing on the...
This is Nimbug's second reprint, by the way. It did get a reprint in Frostfall because of its split ascension that leads to Flamermoth. But this Nimbug is not titled, by the way. When you normal cast this Nimbug, you can search your deck for a Foloi Forest, a Saracoon, or a Flamermoth and add it to your hand. Obviously, the Nimbug that got reprinted in Frostfall had the same effect as base set, but this one does not.
Outskirts of Foloi Forest with 2 attack and 1 defense, a 1-cost wind Elestral that says when you normal cast this Nimbug, you can search your deck for a Foloi Forest, a Charcoon, or a Flamermoth and add it to your hand. So you have some flexibility here to search out a handful of different cards.
Obviously, the Nimbug for set 1, I believe, lets you search for Saracoon instead of Charcoon and go from there.
Can support Earth in searching their stadiums. You've got the Charcoon, obviously, which can turbo into Flamermoth. And then you can actually just search Flamermoth, which is...
It is very weird that it brings out Foloi Forest when Saracoon, Charcoon, and Flamermoth are not Earth enchanted at all. So weird.
Really helpful, especially when you look at the Frostfall Flamermoth, which...
I will look at it and say, oh, it is adorable because it does have, it's a good art. Definitely a step up from set 1's art, set 2, set whatever. It is a cute set.
I think had a lot of potential, but was challenging to get into hand. There may be some new strategies that can be invigorated with cards like Tower of the Winds. So some really cool potential here, ultimately, to be able to get some searchability. This Nimbug is absolutely adorable, and it does not have a title, so obviously you'll be competing with deck slots for the original base set Nimbug, but they run kind of 2 different strategies. And that's one of the things I wanted to talk about in terms of Elestrals, is I wanted to look at designing some new 3-cost Elestral lines that weren't just bridges to the next level and kind of accelerating the process from going to the first stage Elestral to the final stage Elestral, the Ascension. So we wanted to explore some different effects that weren't just kind of bridges to the next one. So you'll see that here shortly, but Little Nimbug, things go a little awry for Little Nimbug here, as we've got a brand new card, because you're probably like, Dan, why is the Nimbug searching Foloi Forest? Well, let's take a look at our brand new titled Foloi Forest. Foloi Forest.
Whoa, it's fire! Burning Woods. Opponents must also expend Earth, 2 in order to play Stadium Ruins. Oh, I like this. I really like this one. It's pretty cool. Foloi Forest. This is the first stadium that does not +1/+1, like, of anything. It is a fire. Like, this is the first time we've seen a nexus of a stadium, even though it's the same name and it's titled, obviously. But I like this. I really like this one because I can play Foloi Forest. It doesn't boost up my fire attack Elestrals, but in order for you to get rid of it, outside of, obviously Thunderstorm or P-Gust, Valakane, or any of those type of things, you have to expend 2. This one I really like. I might actually try and get this one for my fire deck. This one's actually a really good one. I like this.
Burning Woods is a brand new stadium rune that comes into play with 1 cost fire, and it says opponents must expend 2 spirits in order to play stadium runes. So that means you can throw this bad boy down, you can search it out with your Nimbug, or you can utilize other cards like Jolton to find this.
Yes.
You can cast it.
This actually, because I do play Fire Thunder in my main deck, this would actually give me a reason to have a Jolton in my deck, just to be able to find this card specifically to pretty much make you use up a spell removal card, like again Thunderstorm, like P-Gust, like any of those type of things, or make you expend 2 to be able to play a Stadium Ruin to get rid of it.
To the field, of course, and then if your opponent wants to play Stadium Runes, if that's a key part of their strategy, they actually have to pay spirits to be able to even do that. So they'll remove your fully.
So basically, it's like it becomes you pretty much burn your opponent for 3 because they have to pay 1 to play the stadium, but also 2 extras into your spirit deck to be able to even have it on the field. I like this one.
Forest in the process, but it'll cost them quite a bit to make that play. And of course, this Foloi Forest has some additional use cases as we explore the rest of this Nimbug line. Taking a look at Charcoon, a brand new wind and fire.
Obviously, this card also counts as Siracoon because that's how Charcoon was originally titled as well. When you nexus up to 2 in any combination of fire or wind, you can, when this Charcoon is destroyed by an opponent, rune effects that opponents must expend 1 spirit for each spirit that was enchanting this Charcoon. Okay, so, resting on your laurels or Earthquake, yeah. And that's just destroyed, obviously, if you were to use Shield of Achilles, it goes back to your hand, that doesn't count. Those are the only 2 I can think about is the 2 removal 1-ofs. And it says runes, not Elestrals. So it's going to be very difficult unless you're bringing back Laurels and Earthquake to 2 at least. I don't know, man.
Fire Elestral with 2 attack and 6 defense. This card always counts as Siracoon, which means that you can ascend your Nimbug from base set into this as well, much like Siracoon originally. You can Nexus up to 2 spirits in any combination of.
By the way, we still haven't seen any other Elestral get this treatment where it also counts as a Nexus form of it. And I would really like to see them do that with another Ascension line. The fact that this one counts as Siracoon, the other one, I would like to see that utilized in a different Ascension line with have another split Ascension. We haven't seen that. This is the only Ascension line from Nimbug that we actually see.
Fire and wind, so you have some flexibility here to nexus either fire spirits from like your Hephaestus or your Hestia, or wind spirits from your Aeolus or your Hermes, or you can utilize stadiums. When this Charcoon is destroyed by an opponent's rune effect, that opponent must expend spirits for each spirit that was enchanted in this Charcoon.
Again, this is very difficult to do because again, there's only 2 runes that do this, aka Earthquake and Resting on Your Laurels. They're both one of right now. So unless you're going to bring those back to 2, I would say 2. I don't think you need to have 3 for Resting on Your Laurels and Earthquake. 2 would be, I think, the minimum. They should really bring limiting the Resting on Your Laurels and Earthquake to 2 of.
So Charcoon is already coming to the field with 2 spirits. If you're able to get this in defense position, utilize its 6 defense and perhaps power it up with a Stadium or an Artifact rune, and then you can utilize the power of Nexus to move spirits onto your Charcoon. And it essentially is charging itself up, getting all of this energy, all of these spirits. And if your opponent manages to take it down by battle, well, your Charcoon's probably not going to do a whole lot. But if they take it down by a rune effect, which they may be forced to do, this Charcoon is going to deal a lot of damage. So a really cool effect. Very different than kind of the bridges, like I mentioned, that we did a lot of for 3-stage Elestrals. But this Charcoon seems to be the culprit here, as Foloi Forest has been set ablaze, as you can tell. Big shouts to the Elestronauts for revealing Charcoon early on their channel. Make sure you check out their reactions. Up next, a brand new holo in the set, coming in with 8 attack and 4 defense, 2 cost wind, 1 cost fire. It is indeed a new Flammoth, baby. Flammoth from Frostfall.
It actually loses attack. When your opponent's Elestrals gets -1 attack, -1 defense. If the Nimbug and Shirokun, it is it for each Nimbug and Tarkun in your underworld. You can also destroy a Foloi Forest on your field. If you do, destroy all cards on the field except this Flammoth. So basically, if I put down the Foloi Forest, like either Foloi Forest, obviously, but if I put the Burning Wood one down there and then get rid of it, destroy it, every card on the field goes away except for this Flammoth.
Ended up having a really cool negation effect. This one comes in with a very different effect, actually. Your opponent's Elestrals get -1 attack and -1 defense for each Nimbug and Charcoon in your underworld. So if you get those Nimbugs in there, you get a couple of those Elestrals in there, you could be dropping it.
So if you have if you have 3 Nimbugs and 2 Charcoons happen to be in your underworld, that's -5, -5. Wow, that would be nuts.
Attack stats quite a bit, which can be significant. You can destroy a Foloi Forest on your field. That can be the new Foloi Forest Burning Woods or the original Foloi Forest. If you do, destroy all cards on the field except this Flammoth. You are going to just torch everything on the field. Everything is gone. You get to use your Foloi.
Now, my question when it comes to, like, say, base set Majesty, that when it's properly enchanted, all water enchanted Elestrals unaffected by, I think that's targeting, so that might not be a thing. If there's an Elestral that has an effect that doesn't like get affected by Elestral's card effects, does that one go away too, or is it just doesn't get affected?
Forest and just blow it all up. Absolutely nuts. This Flammoth can deal massive amounts of damage at that point and close out games.
I mean,
yeah, it's be a super fun strategy for casters.
I mean, obviously, now this is another thing. If you destroy everything on the field except for this Flammoth, and you happen to have, what is it? I think it's the Bow of Apollo. I'm pretty sure the Bow of Apollo lets you attack twice. Is it that one? I'm pretty sure one of the bows lets you attack twice. And then you have that artifact on this after you destroyed everything else on the field. You could do up to 6 spirits of damage, unless of course you have more on there. Especially if you had that Charcoon that you went out there and you got you Nexus up to 2 on it, so that's 4. You had another one underneath of that to make it 5. That's if you have the ability to like get that artifact. I'm pretty sure it's an artifact that lets you attack twice. You get that artifact on this Flammoth after you destroyed everything else. Your opponent cannot counter you, and then you go attack twice, -10 spirits, and that's half the spirit deck.
To explore with the brand new Foloi Forest Burning Woods, and this Flammoth setting Foloi Forest ablaze. Demeter not going to be thrilled about that, having to call the alliance of these Earth Elestrals to the battlefield to protect Foloi Forest and ultimately, keep it around, because it's a pretty important part of the world of Elestrals, which I hope you guys will get to explore in the not too distant future. And listen, I love me some full arts, and obviously Flammoth is the Elestral that captures both.
Let me guess, Flammoth also gets a stellar again.
Thematically named Firestorm. Flammoth here with its incredible new full.
Okay, that is a sick card art, I will say. That is a very sick card art.
Full art designed by the Elite Four. Absolutely stunning. I mean, what a wicked card. Everything from the skyline behind it.
The Elite Four just seem to be top level when it comes to card art. I'm just going to say that right now. This is sick.
To the overpowering flames of Flammoth burning.
And I will say, less is more. This is just straight to the point. You just have a big old Flammoth coming in for it looks like some kind of attack or something. Or it's like pushing something away. No, nothing else on this card that you really need to see. No, like, busybody or anything. I like card arts like this. I love full arts like this, where you don't just throw a bunch of stuff on there to get a bunch of Elestrals in it because you want to show them all off or anything. Less is more. This is great. Just like Hestia in her Majorsa in the poolable, the box topper one, that's like one of those less is more. You just have Majorsa and Hestia. This one, you just see the big old Flammoth looking to cause damage.
The forest behind him, absolutely nuts. I think this card is mega awesome, man. So I hope you guys are stoked about this brand new full art and all of the amazing full arts that we're throwing down with so far in Firestorm. We haven't even revealed them all, but we've got the Flammoth, we've got the Galaxair champion of Aeolus, the Torchin champion of Hestia, going to be huge for searching out your Hestia. We've got Hestia, and we've got Hermes, so the 2 new Divines coming in for Firestorm, both getting full arts.
Which looks so much better than the previous ones.
Full arts with full art Earthquake, full art Eruption, full art Thunderstorm.
Yeah, like I said, less is more. These ones right here, I'm not a fan of because they just make them way too muddy and way too messy. Like, especially Earthquake, what's going on in there? The Eruption one, I love Eruption, but this art just sucks. The Thunderstorm is okay, but these ones are just way too muddied up, way too messy compared to all the other Foolish you just showed, except for probably Galaxy. That one, little messy as well too. But like the Hermes one, the Hestia one, all the other full arts we saw for the box topper, they look so much better than these three right here.
And then, of course, alt arts of the full art Majesty, different from the box toppers that you guys are going to find. And
that was a good one.
Alt art, full art Voltempest.
Absolutely. See, nuts. Less is more when you just put the
Firestorm.
That's good.
I'm super proud of it, and I know you guys are going to love them. We still have some full arts to reveal as well, so stay tuned for that. This set is nuts when it comes to full arts. So good. Make sure you guys get your pre-orders in.
And that's going to be on the thing. I'm so disappointed we have not seen those other 9 Elestrals yet. I want to see what we got new coming in Firestorm, like actual new Elestrals. Don't want to continue to see a bunch of champions or reprints. I'm more interested to see what is new. Harpy, I do like it. It's a nexus of Plucky and the design of it, but I want to see the other 9, what they are bringing us. Again, the Foloi Forest, Burning Woods, I like that one, especially since I'm Fire Thunder, and putting like maybe I want to throw Jolted in there to go and grab that one of those Foloi Forest and put it down and make you have to either spend spirits probably on a Thunderstorm, or maybe even put a P-Gust out there to get rid of it, because if you want to be able to play your stadium without having to spend 2 spirits, yeah, I like that one. That is actually one of my favorite reveals from this entire set. Most of these champions of not a big fan of. Not a big fan of at all. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'll be back tomorrow for day 18 as we are wrapping up this in the next few days. We only have a few more days left as we are going to be heading into the 25 days ending up here soon. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 18. Until then, my name is the Franz, and I'll see you guys later.